instaMERSION.
Welcome everybody to the next episode of I Am Talk. I have my new friend here, Marian Fong. Marian, I just want to thank you for coming on to our show, and it was actually by divine intervention that we're even having this conversation today.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, it's so spontaneous, and it was one of those things where I guess as I had sent out a newsletter trying to promote what it is that we're doing, my very own office mate, Debbie, received the newsletter, and she couldn't help but think of you, and so she linked us two together. We had just maybe like one phone conversation, right? But even through that short exchange, just really noticing, a lot of like-mindedness that we have regarding business, the marketplace, media, right? And so I'm just really excited to see what God is stirring. Yeah. And we haven't even talked ever since then, so this is just the continuation of our conversation.
Thank you. It's great to be here. You have a great studio here.
Oh, awesome.
It's just wonderful.
Very blessed to have this opportunity to be able to have these conversations.
You're doing a good job here.
Yeah, thank you. Marian, I know this is a very broad question, but what is it that inspired you to come on to our show and say, hey, we need to just continue our conversation?
Well, I was very intrigued about what Debbie told me and what I saw on your website. And I thought, hey, I think there's a fit here because I have some background exposure to media through Premier Benefit Consultants, where I'm a Medicare rep. And then our agency head, he was an executive producer before and wanted to make a show, which is actually called Cool for Kupuna.
Wow.
And it's on KHON at 5 p.m. And it's running now even to this date. This is November of 2021. And I had a great experience. It was so wonderful because we ate our way through all these towns. The premise is we go to a town like Kaimuki or Mo'iliili or
getting all the good grinds and all these towns.
Yeah, right. And then we see what there is to eat and what kind of services and businesses and maybe what do you call volunteer opportunities for the Kupuna. And we ran ourselves ragged. It was really tiring. They since kind of changed the pace of things, but at the time we were running like crazy people. And it was just a blast.
Wow.
It was a blast, and we met so many people.
What was your particular role and function on that show in particular? Except eating.
My title was associate producer, but I was basically the host, Sue Jorgensen's sidekick and eating buddy is really what it was. We had a blast. So I had that exposure, and then I have another friend who has a member-based subscription site, and I did almost like a mini sermonette with her. It was like the first Wednesday of every month. Excellent. And it was called Jesus, Coffee, and Me.
Oh.
And so
who is this with? Is this with Kathy Thurston?
No, it's her name is Dara.
Dara, okay, because I remember there being another thing called Jesus Coffee. Oh, I think that's Jesus Coffee and Tea. So I'm getting the two confused. There's a lot of Jesus and coffee going around town, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm very impressed with your latte.
Yeah, I just made her my morning favorite, which is I do a combination oat milk, soy milk, latte style. The beans were actually from India, given to me from a friend, and I like to put a little bit of liquid sugar, give it a little froth.
Well, what I like about it is not too sweet.
I
usually take my coffee like pitch black.
Oh, you like to get all the flavors.
Dark,
so you like to, taste the fullness.
So this is very nice. It's like a light lilt of sweet, and so for me it's like a dessert. I love it.
I mean, Marian already came into the house with so much energy, so I can't imagine once we get done with this show, by the time the coffee's all the way to the end, how much energy she's going to be projecting.
I know. I'm thrilled to be here. I know you can tell.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the media side of things.
Well, it's funny because it's almost like how I got into being a foster parent, a temporary foster parent. It's almost like there was a call for a volunteer, and I feel like everybody else stepped backward, and I was the only one.
Now you're the boss.
that didn't see what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
But no, by and large, because of my a stint with Jesus Coffee and Me, when the executive producer said, "Hey, does anybody want to volunteer?" You know, of the Medicare agents, I said, "Hey, I'm interested," because I was wanting to understand that world for that.
Sure.
So I said yes, and nobody else said yes.
Usually those are the leaders.
By
those
default. So it's fun. Yeah, it was really a good time.
Yeah. And then how did you start off in the media world? Like, what were you doing? What were your functions and responsibilities, so forth?
Oh my gosh, so we had to just like basically cold call these businesses. Hey, my name is Marian, and I'm associate producer, and would you want to be on television? It's no charge, and you get to understand your business.
So it's like free marketing for these businesses.
And they're like, yeah, sign me up. But you'd be amazed. Some people are like, no, we're too busy. We just don't want.
Yeah, they don't want too much business.
That extra layer of, any crew coming. We don't want any more business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised because you would think any, promotion is a positive thing.
Right.
People were either shorthanded.
Sure, they can only handle so much.
And, we totally understood that. And so that was fine. But today, I guess, I know you asked me here because the premise is just businesses, right?
Yes, business. And I know you're involved in a few different types of businesses, specifically insurance. And you also mentioned Medicare, right? And so tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so like just a macro backgrounder for me is my exposure to insurance through my 13 years at HMSA.
Wow.
So through there I learned like just underwriting and almost like social skills, right? Because you have to go to these businesses. Hi, my name is Marion. You don't even know me, but this is all about HMSA, all this. So I really kind of cut my teeth in a lot of ways along multiple levels of, just like coming of age in the business world. Conducting ourselves, and there was good training.
Yeah,
so
I mean, what a great environment to learn. One of the biggest insurance companies on the island, right?
I'm grateful and thrilled. Yeah, and then you know how we talked about Capitol Place?
Yes. This is a crazy story. Right?
Yeah. So I knew I needed a certain amount of income in order to qualify there, even though I put the down payment.
Right. And this
I was like, Lord have mercy, how am I gonna, afford it? I mean, I got the down payment in there, but
this was like early 2000-ish, right? You were mentioning that, you had this opportunity to.
So I quit my job. So after HMSA, I went to HDS.
Okay.
And I quit there trying to make a foray into independence.
Got you.
Because I felt like at least this way I have control, I can drive my revenue. And then guess what? I was the poorest I ever was.
Oh no.
It was scary.
Yeah.
And I would be like parked by, the fire station by downtown?
Yes.
I would be looking at the building going, how in the world am I going to get in there? Because I felt so destitute practically.
Wow. So it's just kind of a rough start going off on your own.
And then actually, this is why I really believe in fasting. I fasted, just seeking after God, because it was nerve-wracking. I was a single mom and everything, and it was scary. But for a couple months only, I was able to tithe 10% of the amount that this realtor told me I needed in salary.
Wow.
In order to afford it, afford living there.
You just put that in God's hands, pretty much.
I only could do it for a couple months. So.
Yeah, but still,
I did it, and then I got this amazing job. In fact, because I'm from a nonprofit, actually both companies were nonprofits. They asked me what my salary expectation was, and when I said it, when they hired me, they gave me 5 figures more than what I asked for. Who does that?
Yeah.
Right? Then when I get in there, they said, "Oh, guess what? You also get a cut of the commissions.
Oh,
so
my
salary
goodness.
plus
Yeah.
commissions, all that."
Incentive, right? Like,
I had for a year just prior to when they called and says, "Okay, we're ready to qualify you," and that's what I needed.
wow.
And even that was a miracle because my my mortgage processor said, "Marian, I'm too tired to be so excited, but you basically squeaked in."
Yeah. Wow.
Squeaked in with my credit score.
For anybody to have that type of faith, especially with the circumstances around you, numbers aren't exactly working out, but here you are, tithing.
Literally a miracle.
Yeah.
It was. There's just no way. There's no way. I was just amazed.
Yeah,
It was like,
I would be
Lord,
too, right?
you are amazing. Yeah.
And just all the more evidence of God's hand upon your life and His
Yeah.
goodness, and just God as Jehovah Rapha, or Jehovah Jireh, right? As our provider.
Yes, so amazing. And I think I mentioned a little bit when we were talking a smidge, which was being at Capitol Place, close to where I worked,
Yeah.
allowed me to really kind of bolster my productivity and was able to, you know what I mean, really prosper me
Yeah.
in that way, which I think if I would be catching a bus or like driving an hour home, I think I would be more drained.
Yeah,
know?
you were sharing with me, you were literally right across the
I'll
street
go
from
home
your
and take a
own
nap
workplace.
and come back, or whatever. Yeah, so amazing.
Wow.
God is good. God is good.
And so what did that eventually launch you off into? So as you kind of had this new start, this new...
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, and then what?
So at this point, maybe I've been a employee benefits, like the healthcare insurance,
Right.
Voluntary benefits broker for, gosh dang. So what is that? 2008, 7? So 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 14
years.
years as a benefits broker.
Wow.
Yeah, and in the meantime, acquiring the Medicare. But the thing that I wanted to talk to you about
Sure.
is kind of a passion of mine.
Yes.
And that is, everything else is amazing, and it kind of all goes into employee benefits actually, so it's a terrific fit. But it's LegalShield that I want to talk about today.
What is LegalShield for our audience who might not know anything about LegalShield?
Right. So LegalShield, some may know as Prepaid Legal Services, is what it was called back in the day. And in the early 70s, a teacher who was also an insurance guy in the mainland, in Oklahoma actually, he got into an accident that wasn't his fault. But I guess the lady was rich, and she sued him for an accident that wasn't his fault, and he spent practically his life savings to defend himself.
Oh, yikes.
Then he said, hey, how come there's healthcare insurance, life insurance, auto insurance, but there's not legal insurance? So he sought out to create this. And today there's like, I think 4.2 million subscribers to this plan. It's almost like, like if Costco is member based.
Sure.
And that's where you get the discounting. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people think it's hard to believe. But see, I'm like a bit of like a Joan of Arc. I always wanted to champion for people. And on the courthouse steps where it says equal justice for all, where people protest in front of, that nowadays is if you have money. So to defend yourself, case in point, a family member, right? Younger, so he was supposed to work as a busser at a restaurant. And So, you have to buy the clothes and everything. So he did so. And then he read the wrong line on the schedule sheet as to his next shift.
I see.
So he misread it and he didn't get there for his shift. And so, but he didn't like it already at that time. So he just didn't go.
Yeah.
And then a month or so later, he called for his last paycheck. And then he was told, well, you never really worked here, so you don't get a paycheck.
Right.
And he went and told me, and I said, what? Call LegalShield.
Yeah.
So he did so, and they made a demand letter because it's letter or phone call on your behalf, but most people choose letter. And you know how when you get a letter from a law firm, your spine kind of stiffens, and you're like, wait
scary,
a minute,
right?
everybody, you're like, what is this?
Especially with the language and the terminology.
And who would spend, at minimum, for an associate attorney, $250, $300 an hour to chase a paycheck? So we're with the understanding that our client is due, they estimated the amount, it's like $100-something. And we expect, repayment or we'll take other action. I can't remember what it was said, what the letter said. But anyway, they sent him $127. So you see, I feel like this plan helps people to not get manipulated and intimidated. It just equals it does. It's an equalizer.
And I think when it comes to just insurance in general, right? The general public, we're mostly thinking about health insurance, car insurance, just the basics, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to other incidentals or things that could happen that we might not think that we need coverage for, this is where something like LegalShield would be beneficial.
Yes, and then another family member got a citation for trespassing.
Yeah.
And I guess it's what is those offenses like white collar and then capital offense and
there's different tiers.
Civil,
right.
and capital, whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a criminal.
I don't remember the words.
I'm just kidding.
But anyway, so called them again, and they said, well, we don't per se handle that kind of thing, but you can use your LegalShield because everything that's not in the plan is 25% off.
Yeah. Wow.
So we did pursue it, and it was supposed to be $600-something for the attorney to represent, and it became like $375 something.
Yeah.
But we were able to successfully,
basically
expunged, or whatever you call it.
Right. Just
it's
tossed
not
out.
on there at all.
Would you look at LegalShield as being that alternative for maybe somebody that can't afford paying a lawyer $250 an hour just for regular lawyer fees?
You know what? I could go on and on about how amazing it is.
Sure, you can.
I know you only gave me X amount of time.
But if there's something that people could leave with in terms of just a simplified way of just understanding and what's the value proposition.
Okay, so phone calls or letters on your behalf, unlimited amount. The thing with that is if there's going to be a second or third letter on the same subject, they might have to charge. But by and large, per issue, it's a free service.
Yeah.
And then also contract reading. And there's also a very cool portion where when you sign up, you can accumulate 300 hours of legal time.
Okay.
Yeah, for preparation and the actual. This is all civil defense.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm thinking? For like you and your wife.
Sure.
It's kind of good for newlyweds because there's name change, like reading your mortgage, your car, paperwork, and even adoption is a benefit.
Yeah.
Actually, divorce, but we won't talk about that. But that's uncontested. It's a benefit. So, okay. And then I'm so excited.
We need another half hour.
Because I used it countless times in the sense that there's a legal forms library.
Wow.
And so not only does it have power of attorney, but I had an opportunity to become an independent contractor. So I pulled down that paperwork, that templated wording. And I just inserted my own, little intricacies to it. But all that is just so much guidance and help.
Yeah.
Even if you get a traffic ticket, there's a mobile app that you can take a picture of the traffic ticket and send that in. Because sometimes in this state of Hawaii, you're not able to have a proxy come in.
I see.
But say if you went to Vegas, I don't even know the laws in Vegas, and then you got a traffic ticket, but you came back. If that state allows a proxy, then the LegalShield in that state can go ahead. All 50 states.
Oh, so they're all interconnected, right, with different laws and different
LegalShield
states
is in all 50
territories,
states.
right?
So as long as you're a member, you can port to those states.
Oh, wow. So I could just imagine overall just that peace of mind, knowing that you have the security in people that are experts in, like a lot of the fine print, a lot of that whole archive library of forms that are, it's just a treasure to have, right?
Peace of mind is priceless, and that's what caused me to stay in this business, right, for over 30 years, is I love helping people have peace of mind, make something complex just more understandable. I don't know if I did that today because I'm so excited. But, I have so much I want to say. But all these things, add up to this is why I got into this in the first place.
Yeah.
In addition, so LegalShield had kind of a, reputation of sorts of being like a multi-level marketing. But the way I got into it is because they went into the group benefits space.
I see.
As a matter of fact, in those human resource magazines or employee benefits magazines, industry periodicals, legal services are becoming more prominent as requested voluntary benefits.
Very interesting, because I'm sure there's all sorts of incidentals that happen in the workplace that you're like, oh, I never thought these things would come up, right?
Exactly, because people can be at work, but you can be a little bit of a zombie, presenteeism, right? And you're there, but you're not there. So this brings peace of mind, so you can pick up a phone and have them handle it, and you can be, present in your workspace. And we never really talked about it, but there's a IDShield as well, identity theft.
Yeah. And why is that?
Deep dive on that, meaning, there's like other offerings of this type of identity theft, but this is very holistic. It's very 24/7, 365.
Now with the internet too, right? Every opportunity is an opportunity for somebody to hack into your bank account, or there's just so many different. Your phone.
Seniors.
They get duped the most, right? Because they wouldn't know the difference.
Everybody needs legal help to one degree or another, but you just feel so intimidated. You feel so like, I don't know anybody. I just, this is your attorney firm. Oh, here's my story. So when
I almost jumped back.
when I, it was a little bit of a darker time in my life, and I had some legal problems, and so there was some banter. I mean, it was okay, but it was just some back and forth. Yeah. And this person said, "Hey, you know what? Don't pursue this.
It's not worth it."
Yeah, and I said, "You know what? I have to check with my attorney." It felt so good to say that. Like, my crew, my attorney firm. Yeah, right. And it's just an amazing thing to just feel supported. Yes. And to feel like, there's a firm that has your back. Because there's also like consumer fraud. I mean, when I was first introduced to this, I'm like, oh no, I'm not a criminal. I don't need, Yeah, of course. But it's not that. It's even like my friend used it because her alarm company, now there's Ring and all that, but back in the day, her alarm company wouldn't let her off her contract. Wow. you know how before you had
Yeah.
to like hook it up and they have all these fees.
Right. But they kind of locked her in.
So she had LegalShield, and the firm's name in Hawaii is Brevard and Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
To send a letter on her behalf, and she got the money back.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, this intimidation of companies, or another friend did it for an airline that either charged her extra for her baggage or
Right.
damaged her stuff, and they declined to admit to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So she had a letter made, and they gave her some money back. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I can just so see the
Exactly.
benefit of knowing that you have a team of experts, right? People that are experts within everything regarding the legal department and all that. I don't know, I'm just going to call it fine print, mumbo, all the legal terms, right? That is just foreign to us.
Yeah.
But knowing that, hey, we have these people that we can check up on and know that, we have that peace of mind, that security, people that have our backs.
So Alex, I'm so grateful you're saying this, because you're prompting me. There's almost like a good housekeeping seal of approval for attorneys. And it's a rating system called Martindale and Hubble. And so in case people are wondering if this is, kind of like B-level type, attorneys, the Martindale and Hubble requirement from LegalShield is that you have to be at least 4 or 5. That's the two top grades. And the grades are given based on, what do you call a judge who you presided in front of has to attest to your professionalism. You have to be an attorney for at least 5 years, and you have to meet a certain criteria of level of ethics by your peers, and so it's a full-on rating thing. And so I've been nothing but pleased with my service.
That's so great. That's great. Marian, I hate to cut you
are we
off.
done?
No, but you have one last minute to address this camera in front. I just want to give you a time to shine.
Yeah,
your
thank
spot.
you.
If there's anything you want to just tell our audience, maybe it's LegalShield, IDShield, but what can we help you pitch and promote?
Okay, thank you. Well, I feel like LegalShield is something I really believe in, because I feel like, sorry.
Let's try one more time.
I forgot.
This camera.
It's something I really believe in, because I don't like people to be victimized. Like I said, I'm kind of a Joan of Arc. And so this is a way to level the playing field. This is a way to have access to professionals that can help you for a reasonable amount of money. It's $24.95 a month to be able to access so many different levels of service, to feel protected, to feel covered, parking tickets all the way up to contract reading, and again, letter or phone call. That's the most popularly used benefit. So, and I didn't really talk much about IDShield, which is a corollary plan, but it goes to depth more than any other plan that's out there. You just may not know about it because they don't do this heavy advertising, but it has unlimited guarantees and many things that I think that you'd be very pleased with. So I'd be happy to help you with that. I'd be happy to talk to you more about that. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you? That
we're down to our last 20 seconds.
Okay,
we're gonna have to.
Is it mentioned as an individual thing, but a business can have LegalShield as well. So that's something for you to know. So thank you so much
Thank you,
for
everybody.
listening.
Yeah, so this is Marian Fong representing LegalShield and IDShield and so much more. So we're going to leave website contact information in the description box below so that you can get in hold of her for these services. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. There's the alarm. Thanks for joining us.
instaMERSION.
I would love to thank you for hanging out with us here on I Am Talk. Hit the subscribe button to stay in tune with our channel. Oh, and don't forget to tap that bell icon to get notifications on the latest episodes coming your way. We're always looking for the next guests to talk story with here on I Am Talk. So if you just shoot me an email at alex@instamersion.com, I'll be sure to shoot a guest application your way. Well guys, it's all for now. Until our next episode of I Am Talk, this is Alex, and I'm out. Peace!